Vikram Malhotra was a name that echoed in the corridors of power, the boardrooms of billion-dollar companies, and the front pages of business magazines. A self-made billionaire, a business tycoon, and a man who once controlled an empire stretching across industries, luxury hotels, tech giants, real estate, and even a private island. But his story, once an inspiration, became a lesson written in blood and bankruptcy. Vikram was born in a humble family. Vikram's father was a school teacher, his mother a homemaker. They lived in a small two-bedroom apartment in Mumbai, where every rupee was stretched thin. But Vikram had a fire in him. He didn't just want success, he craved it. At 25, he founded his first company, a small software firm run from a dingy one-room office. For the first 2 years, he worked 18-hour days, barely sleeping, eating cheap street food, coding until his fingers ached. Then came his breakthrough, a revolutionary software product that caught the attention of Silicon Valley. Investors lined up, his company skyrocketed, and within 5 years, he was worth hundreds of millions. By 35, he had it all. Private jets, a mansion with golden chandeliers, a fleet of sports cars, and the world's most powerful people on speed dial. He was a king, but kings often forget. They are still mortal. The fall begins. At a lavish party in his penthouse, a slick investment banker, Rohan Mehta, approached Vikram. "Vikram, I have something that will make you immortal in the business world," Rohan whispered, his eyes gleaming. "A futuristic city, skyscrapers with vertical gardens, AI-controlled infrastructure, and a living experience like no other." Vikram smirked, sipping his whiskey. "And how much are we talking?" $5 billion. It will be the most profitable project in history." Vikram's CFO, Rajesh, overheard the conversation and immediately intervened. "Sir, this is a bad idea," Rajesh said, his voice firm. "The market is unstable. Real estate is volatile. We should move cautiously." Vikram laughed. "Rajesh, when you build empires, you don't move cautiously. You take risks. I didn't get here by playing safe." His closest advisors tried to reason with him. His legal team warned him. Even his mother, now living in luxury, pleaded, "Beta, don't put everything at stake for one dream." But Vikram waved them all away. "I built this empire from nothing. I don't need advice on risks." Vikram poured everything into the project. His own wealth, his company's assets, and billions in loans. Construction began, a futuristic city rising from the dust. But then, disaster struck. The global economy crashed, interest rates soared, investors backed out, construction halted. The once promising city became a ghost town of unfinished skyscrapers. Banks came knocking, lawyers swarmed his office, the stock market crushed his company's valuation overnight. He tried to negotiate, to refinance, but it was too late. One evening, his longtime friend and CFO, Rajesh, walked into Vikram's office with a grim expression. "We're finished," Rajesh whispered. "The banks have seized everything. Our accounts are frozen. The government is investigating financial mismanagement." Vikram clenched his fists. "Number, I can fix this." Rajesh sighed. "Vikram, there's nothing left to fix." Then came the final blow. A group of private lenders, the kind who didn't send lawyers, but men with scars and baseball bats, decided to collect their debts personally. The night everything ended, Vikram was sitting in his dimly lit mansion, now eerily empty, when the doors burst open. 6 men stormed in. Their leader, a cold-eyed man named Malik, stepped forward. "You owe us, Malhotra," Malik said, twirling a knife. "And we don't do payment plans." Vikram tried to talk, tried to negotiate, but the moment he opened his mouth, a fist smashed into his ribs. He collapsed to the floor. Kicks followed, the crack of a rib, the taste of blood in his mouth. By the time they were done, they had taken everything valuable in the house. And Vikram? He was left on the cold marble floor, broken, bleeding, and alone. The next morning, Vikram walked out of his mansion for the last time. He had no money, no home, no allies. The same city where people once bowed before him now ignored him. As he sat on a park bench, starving, a man walked past, did a double take, and smirked. "Hey, isn't that Vikram Malhotra?" he said to his friend. "The billionaire?" "Look at him now. What a joke." Laughter followed. Vikram clenched his fists but said nothing. For the first time in his life, he felt truly powerless. One night, Vikram sat outside a temple, staring at his reflection in a puddle, unshaven, frail, a ghost of his former self. An old man approached him and offered a piece of bread. "You were once the king of this city," the old man said. "How did you fall so low?" Vikram let out a bitter laugh. "Overconfidence. I thought I was invincible. I stopped listening. I thought I could never fail." The old man nodded. "Success is like a lion. If you respect it, it will protect you. If you take it for granted, it will eat you alive." Vikram bowed his head. He had learned his lesson, but at what cost? Years passed. Vikram never regained his billionaire status. He found work as a clerk in a small store. He lived humbly, earning enough to survive. No luxury, no power, just an ordinary life. One day, a young entrepreneur recognized him and approached hesitantly. "Sir, I read about you. Your story is legendary," the young man said. "What advice do you have for me?" Vikram looked at him, saw a reflection of his younger self, full of ambition and hunger. "Never think you're too smart to fail," Vikram said quietly. "Overconfidence is a silent killer. It blinds you until you lose everything." The young man nodded, absorbing the words. He left, but Vikram sat there, watching him go, hoping, just hoping, that history wouldn't repeat itself. Moral of the story: success is never permanent. Arrogance and overconfidence can destroy even the greatest empire. Stay humble, stay cautious, and never stop listening. So friends, this is our today's video. If you like this story, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel, and see you in another video. Until then, take care. Bye bye.